Hey guys, what's up? Darcy here at 6 Strings 9 Lives. First off, sorry about the voice. I got a little bit of a cold thing going on here. Nothing too serious. I will be fine. And honestly, nothing was going to stop me from showing you this awesome set from one of my favorite bands from the 80s. That is W.A.S.P, a band that I got into in 1984. Got to see them live a couple of times actually, but I do have my ticket stub from the first time I saw them, which was November 27th, 1984. They were special guests. They opened for Crocus. Crocus was on the Blitz tour, or on that album cycle of the Blitz. And I'll be honest with you, W.A.S.P absolutely blew them away. No disrespect to Crocus because I do like them, but that's when I fell in love with W.A.S.P. And I won't give too much away because what we're going to do with this set. I'm going to give you my thoughts. We're going to do some comparisons. I have one original pressing. I have one reissue from 2012 on vinyl. I'm going to show you my original cassettes just for the hell of it. And at the end, we're going to do a little bit of a mini ranking. But basically what I like to do with these is just show you, what you're getting. If you're interested in this, there is 3 critiques that we'll get over with right off the bat. The price, the price was high. It is working out to be about $50 Canadian per piece of vinyl, which is excessive. But just a band like this, I know what you can say, I just had to have it, but in this case, I just had to have it. So I guess I was willing to spend the money, obviously, but for what it costs, this set makes up for in other little ways, and I'll show you as we go. Number 2 is kind of a bummer. There was no CD set for this, so those of you that collect CDs, which I do also, I think that was a misstep. They definitely should have got a CD set going, and hopefully they still do. And I guess thirdly, if that's even a word, there's really nothing new here, not even the extras. It's just the way it's packaged, I guess, is the new part. But the cool thing about this is it is packaged. For me, this technically would be all the W.A.S.P I would need. Of course, I have more, but if someone said you can only have this much W.A.S.P, it's all in one box, it's ready to go. But here's the box we're talking about. This is the 7 Savage, 1984 to 1992. Here's the spine. Let's hold it like this. Actually, very hefty box. I love the red. Always love the saw blade logo. And this is what they call like a double slipcase. So I'm going to carefully just slide that out. We're going to remove the outer, so it just slides in there like that, very nicely, not tight, nothing. This side, cool picture of Chris, and on this side, there's a cool picture of Blackie when he was still playing bass live. And then all the albums are, actually I got them in there a little bit backwards, but all the albums are in there just like this. What I noticed right away is all the names, like all the spines, really line up the way where the W.A.S.P is, and then the album title, and then the booklet on the end. So I am just going to set this down for a second because it's pretty heavy. So what we'll do is I'm going to go through a couple comparisons of what I heard with the original pressing, and then I have a copy of the Crimson Idol 2012 repressing from the same company, which is Snapper or Mad Fish. I'm sure you've seen those around, but let's show you this hype sticker, how this came. I will cut these out after. There's that. And right there, I'm going to read to you. And of course, we have to have a parental advisory, explicit content. I mean, hey, this sticker was probably invented partly because of W.A.S.P. So cool. Why wouldn't you want to own something with that sticker on it? So what this says is limited edition 8 LP box set, including W.A.S.P, The Last Command, Inside the Electric Circus, The Headless Children, The Crimson Idol, all newly remastered half speed, plus Live in the Raw and new LP of bonus tracks and B-sides with Animal, Fuck Like a Beast. Also includes a 60-page booklet, includes liner notes, exclusive and rare pictures, posters, and an individually numbered certificate. So this is strictly limited to 2,000 worldwide, in this version. So who the hell knows? Are they going to come out with a colored version? Things like that. I don't know, but I am happy with just black vinyl. And like I said, I will cut that out after. And this came in a very nicely protected box, actually with a W.A.S.P right on the side. It's got these little extra corners to prevent from absorb a little bit of shock or whatever, but it came packaged nicely. And excuse me for a sec, it came packaged very nicely and virtually impeccable. I will show you as I go. But so let's show you what this set includes. I'll put this aside. I'll just show you this one more time, how that slips in here. I have one other set that's similar to this one, and that is the Halloween Starlight box set, which is also a kind of a slipcase. So they've really, this is one of the sturdiest boxes too. It's very, very, very well made and definitely able to handle these 8 albums. But let's start off with what's in here. All right, not only is this, well, no, I can't give that away yet, but this is actually one of my favorite albums of all time. Definitely one of my favorite debut albums. And I would say overall albums for me, top 10 easily. I wouldn't even have to think about this. And this is when I did get to see them originally when they opened for Crocus. But I'm going to compare, what we'll do here is I'm going to compare, I do have an original pressing of the debut, and the artwork is just phenomenal. Sometimes you have some kind of fuzzy lettering, things like that, but here is my original pressing on top, and the reissue right here. It's really hard to even tell if there's any big difference. There's no fuzziness in the logo, anything like that. We'll flip it over to this side. Original photos, things like that. Of course, the spine is probably a little bit different. Yes, so on the reissue, they just repeated W.A.S.P and, self-titled W.A.S.P opposed to just W.A.S.P on the original. But sound-wise, I put these two side by side, and I'm going to give the sound by a wee bit to the original pressing, and only in really volume. Other than that, it just sounded, the repress here, which is dated, what do we got here? These are 2023s, which I should add in that these have been available through Madfish or Snapper. All the albums I'll show you, you can individually buy if you would like to. But sound-wise, I'm going to give to the original pressing only by a wee bit of volume. Other than that, there's just nothing wrong with these reissues. So if you are like me and only had one original pressing, this set is just perfect for that. Let's show you also the reproduction of the inner sleeve. So here's the brand new set inner sleeve. It is spot on with the original. A little thicker paper, I will say that, but other than that, all the photos, everything is the same. And the vinyl, the center rings are exact replica of the original, which a lot of the box sets like Rat, for example, Overkill, they've changed the center rings, with album photo art, and over on the other side, the track listing. They have not done anything here. They are true to the original, which I really do think is pretty cool. One drawback is there was no this is how your album came. As usual, pretty stuck in there with some static, so you gotta just kind of blow in the bag and, you know, loosen it up so you don't scratch your record. But yeah, great replica of the inner. Let's put this album aside, and I'm going to show you what came inside here too. This was a cool touch that I noticed right away also. Inside, it's all black, and there is the W.A.S.P saw blade logo. Yeah, hard to see, but nice little touch. And I'll show you some more here on future albums. And with that one, there was a cool poster. I will fold this out. Those of you that are kind of around my age would definitely remember some of these pictures. There's Blackie on the Krang magazine cover. So that's cool. And then the other side looks like that. Nice little touch on that one. We will save this album aside for a little ranking. And then next up in the set, The Last Command. Now, all of these, or what I should say is when I first discovered W.A.S.P, all the next albums, I was at that record store waiting the day it came out for, actually, we'll just quickly show you these. There's my original cassette, and then for Last Command, Inside the Electric Circus, Live in the Raw, and then The Headless Children. Now, I do not have the Crimson Idol on cassette because around I think I started changing over from cassettes to CDs in around 91, yeah, give or take a few months or whatever. But yeah, always looking forward to a new W.A.S.P album, especially back then. So back to this, The Last Command. Now, I have seen one of these live, or you know, I have held one of these original pressings in my hand, and this artwork is just spot on. There's the spine on that one, and that awesome back cover. Stephen Riley, may he rest in peace. Wow, I was shocked to hear that news, but yeah, there is that again. And let's show you what came in this one, because there's a cool, there's a very cool centering, and I think, was there a poster in this one? No, but I'm going to show you right away. So inside this one, if you can kind of see that, is the Who Dares Wins eagle flag kind of thing. That is inside there. And yes, there's a poster in this one too. But I'm going to show you the inner. The inner is awesome. Always love this. This would make a heck of a large poster, put it on your wall, which I don't know if this other one is, so I forget. But there's the Who Dares Wins, the lyrics on there, and I'll show you the vinyl on that one. So this one is also center rings true to the original, but there's that. So if that looks familiar to you. And did I even mention it? No. So these anti-static sleeves are, you know, an afterthought, something that I put in myself that should be part of these sets. I totally think for the amount of money that you pay for these sets, they should be included regardless, but unfortunately they're not, so you just have to deal with it. Okay, this poster is just a one-sided poster, but it's totally awesome. This would be, I know it's inside The Last Command, but this looks like to me a photo from the Electric Circus tour, you know, kind of 86, 87 era, judging by the stage and Blackie's makeup. Not 100% sure on that, but maybe let me know in the comments. So there's album number 2. Now, don't have an original to compare the sound on, but it to me, to my ears, it sounds good. And I've said it before, I don't pick apart things. They don't have to sound perfect to me, but they almost do sound perfect anyway. So third up in the set, Inside the Electric Circus. And one thing that I've touched on in other videos before, excuse me for 1 second, W.A.S.P was a band that changed their logo on every album. There's no two the same throughout their 15 album discography and 3 or 4 live albums. And I was okay with that. I'm a logo guy, but it just seemed the logo change always fit what they were doing on the cover or what have you. But there's the back cover. Let's just show you what's in here. No poster in this one. And what do we got on the inside? Okay, we got the W.A.S.P. It's hard to see, but there is the W.A.S.P logo just like this, and those kind of the claw mark logo. Back cover, we showed you that, and there's the spine on that. Love the colors on the spine that match the colors there. And from what I can tell, this is an original center ring too. Kind of got that animal type of pattern, tiger stripes, which I remember that cover. I forget how many hours it took them to paint Blackie like this, but it was hours, and still iconic, very cool cover. The inner sleeve is another cool shot, and of course Johnny Rod is in the band. I love this lineup too. I'm a big fan of Randy Piper. I'm a big fan of when Blackie was on bass. I always thought it was so cool that he was in the middle and these two cool guitar players on either side of him, Randy and Chris, but I didn't mind this lineup at all. And the one thing, Johnny Rod is a great bass player, but his backing vocals, if you're not aware of that, he is phenomenal, and it really adds to the live show for sure. So very cool shot of the band. And then we got the lyrics here, which the blue on red is actually ridiculous. It's super hard to read. Yeah, I would definitely need some sort of, I don't know, +1 glasses to read that or something. But regardless, there is that. And they did a great job with that. Next up in the set, one of my, I would say one of my favorite live albums of all times. That might be stretching it, but it is a very good live album. So on the inside, or inside the Electric Circus tour is Alive in the Raw. There is a spine on that back cover. So this album, it's got, I think, three tracks from the debut, 2 tracks from The Last Command, 3 tracks from Inside the Electric Circus. It's got a Scream Until You Like It, which is from the Ghoulies soundtrack. And then you got a couple new songs, which are fantastic. I always loved that they did The Manimal and Harder Faster. I'll never forget hearing that for the first time, because they're great songs. And let's show you what's inside this one. And actually, I am going to include Live in the Raw in my little mini ranking, if you don't mind. I think that would be cool. But I love this, this set of pictures, just all of the time, and what a time it was, W.A.S.P back in the heyday. Nothing against W.A.S.P into the 90s and on, but man, this is where it was at for me. Love that inner. And let's show you the center rings. Are pretty cool. Nice saw blade logo. So tell me if you do have an original of Live in the Raw. Is this what the center rings look like? Same on the both sides. And let's keep plugging away. We have next in the set is the Headless Children. Great album. And we'll get to that shortly. But as far as the artwork goes, there is just, it's flawless to me. I don't see any fuzziness. The coloring is really, I don't know, just spot on. I've never seen an original of this, in my hands before, but there it is. So Frankie Banali did the drums on that. He is not pictured. He's just a guest. But Johnny Rod's still in the band. Chris still in the band. Did I show you? Oh, was there anything inside? Live in the Raw. No, Live in the Raw is just black. There was nothing extra. Now let's show you what's inside this one. The Headless Children. Right here is, I'll show you exactly what that is right away here. That is this fist coming down. That is exactly what's in the inside of that album. So there's this side, and then you got the lyrics on the other side. This inner sleeve is an exact replica of the original, and the centering is too, as far as I know. But there is the centering for the Headless Children. Same on both sides. And then, not finally, but finally for the studio albums, we have the Crimson Idol, 1992. So yeah, this is the first W.A.S.P album that I ever bought on CD, and then I've kind of backtracked and bought the CDs and kept my old cassettes, so this one compared to, I have another copy of this. This is a Mad Fish, or what do they call it? Snapper, yeah. Mad Fish from 2012. Now, the only difference is sound-wise, there is no difference. It's like side by side, sounds the same. But on this new reissue, there is a side 4 that includes, I'll hold it up for you there too. It includes the story of Jonathan, prologue to the Crimson Idol, which is all a spoken word from Blackie. It's on some of the, what is it, the 98 reissues on CD, I think they are. And then we have Phantoms in the Mirror, and then wrapping up with the eulogy. Other than that, the first 3 sides are the same as the original, or was there original vinyl? I don't know if there was an original vinyl, but what I'm saying, it's the same as this vinyl reissue from 2012, but same as the original CD. But this is, the other difference is now they split it onto 2 albums opposed to just the one on the other one. And if you can see that, that is basically this right there. And we'll put that aside and show you that the 2 double vinyl, which I sleeved them. I put anti-static sleeves actually right inside the sleeves, which fits nicely. So this is all just credits and lyrics on both. All right, credits and lyrics. And I'll just show you on vinyl. They're both the same. And this is just more of a generic logo. So, which makes me think maybe there never was a vinyl pressing. Let me know in the comments if you know if there is an original 92 vinyl pressing, but there is what all 4 sides look like on that set, and we will set that aside and get to, what did they call this on there? This kind of the B, like these are, there's a lot of B sides on here, rarities if you want to, I wouldn't say rarities because all these songs are, you've heard them all. If you're a W.A.S.P fan, you've heard all of these. So here is bonus tracks and B-sides. Pretty cool little touch. You know, similar to what they did with the Van Halen set with Sammy Hagar. They kind of, you know, gathered all those songs up and put them on one album. So this is pretty cool. There's some great songs on here. Of course, you have Animal on here. Show No Mercy, which is the B-side for that, which I love that track. Not a big fan of Paint It Black, the cover of the Stones. Savage, great track. Mississippi Queen, could do without that one. Fire and Ice, not bad at all. DB Blues or Douchebag Blues, just a kind of a stupid song, but very silly. Locomotive Breath, a great track too. For Whom the Bell Tolls. War Cry, another good one. And wrapping up When the Levee Breaks. So this is the only one that they included a anti-static sleeve. Thank you very much. And a basic logo right there. Both sides are the same. And where is that? make sure we don't miss anything here. And I showed you the back of that. So that's cool to have all these tracks on one album. I don't mind that. I don't think there's really much missing from, you know, the W.A.S.P world as far as, you know, extra songs to that point. But again, like I touched on in the beginning of the video, there's really nothing new there. But so here is the saw blade that you get, kind of your certificate. And I got number 335 of 2000. Don't really care too much about the number, just as long as I have a copy. So that's a nice little touch. I will set that aside. And this great 60-page booklet, which we will, let me just show you a couple of things in here, but it's actually quite weighty. The paper is awesome. This is some great reading material. This is the stuff that I love to read. Just photos back in the day. All of that. And we in here, there's pictures of all the singles. Like we had Blind in Texas, Wild Child, 95 Nasty. Oh, you definitely remember this picture of Blackie. And you know what? I haven't said it yet, but Blackie, to me, what a great voice. He's just one of my favorites. Very unique voice. I was always, you know, where do you put W.A.S.P? Were they, of course, they're a metal band. They weren't thrash, of course. They're just I don't know. Almost just in their own category with maybe a couple other bands, but just, you wouldn't even call them US power metal. They're just a metal band with whatever, shock rock, whatever you want to say. But yeah, what a great booklet. Here's some more pictures of all these singles, like Mean Man, Forever Free, The Real Me. And let's see if there's anything cool in the last couple pages. There's definitely. Then there's the whole track listing and what's in this set. So the booklet itself, fantastic. I'm really impressed, and maybe that's, you know, part of the reason, or makes me feel better that I did spend this amount of money, because I do believe in the end it's worth it. And if you know, they stay true to maybe not making you know, a colored set, which they probably will anyways. But I'm babbling, so let's go into the little bit of a mini ranking. I am going to show you my favorite to my least favorite, which in this case, it is pretty tight throughout the whole thing. Let's just sort this in order. There we go. So, and like I almost said in the beginning of the video, 1 second, which we are powering through this video. My throat feels good enough. But I said, not only was the debut one of my favorite albums of all time, but it is my favorite W.A.S.P album. So we'll go, like I said, we'll go first to worst, but there's no worst here in this. But there's my number one W.A.S.P album, has been for many, many years. There's my cassette. So we'll go with that one. Number two, Headless Children. Now, number 2, 3, and 4 are so close it's not even funny. There is some separation between that debut and the final one I will show you, but the Headless Children, another awesome album. W.A.S.P just stepping up their game, you know, the political themes, a little more, less on the sleazy stuff, but love this album. Coming in at number 2. Coming in at number 3, which I've always thought, maybe this is the shorter album, but it's actually not. I think it's actually 10 minutes longer than the debut. But coming in at number 3, Inside the Electric Circus. Back cover. This is a little, obviously it's a little less polished than The Last Command, which that's kind of the separation between these two. It's less polish, a little more polish, but just minimal separation between these album 2, 3, and 4. So there's my third favorite right there. Coming in at number 4, The Last Command. Like I said, a little bit more polished. You got tracks like Wild Child and one of my personal favorite W.A.S.P songs, which is Widowmaker. Fantastic track, but there's my number 4. And my number 5, I told you I was going to slip in Live in the Raw, and that's going to come in at 6th spot. Taking nothing away from the final album, but this great live album. Love the track listing. Like I told you before, The Manimal, Harder, Faster, both great tracks. And wrapping this one up is The Crimson Idol. Like I said, I had that day one experience with W.A.S.P, and when we got into the 90s, life was changing for me. I didn't really, this one didn't hit me right away, but I do love it. But it's definitely got to come in at number 6 out of this batch. But like I said, there is no shit album in this pile that I just showed you. And great set. If you are interested, hopefully some of this information helped you get through it. I knew it would be a longer video, but here it is, W.A.S.P, The 7 Savage. But yeah, let me know if you've picked up this set. Let me know if you're a W.A.S.P fan. I've also done a W.A.S.P ranking video. I do like their later work. There's obviously some albums that I like a little more than others. But this band, there is more than just this set to dig into that is well worth your time. So hope you enjoyed that one. Until next time, stay heavy.